Alright, let's begin by building the user interface for our tap counter. I'm going to click on Create a new Xcode project. Under iOS, choose Single View Application and click Next. And let's give it a name of tap counter. I'm just going to add a number at the end, 01. Make sure the language is Swift Universal and click Next. And create. Going to full screen Xcode. And change the simulator to the iPhone 7. Let's go ahead and jump to our storyboard file. I'm just going to hide that sidebar there. And let's go ahead and create our user interface. So I'm going to drag in a label and a button. Double click in here and give it a label name of, we'll just type 0 into there. Let's go ahead and increase the size here to something like 80. And you'll see here that's kind of hard to see the number there. And I can drag the sides here to change the size. Or I can go to Editor, Size to Fit Content, and it'll automatically adapt and stretch to the perfect size there. Okay, let's change the font here, font style from regular to thin. Okay, that's good. And then let's go rename button and type tap. And let's go ahead and change this size as well. Let's go for maybe 30. And let's go ahead and do that again. Editor, Size to Fit Content. There you go. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to group these so that we can center these objects perfectly in the center of the device. So I'm going to click on this first just to show you what happens if it's not, if we don't have constraints on it. So if we rotate the device, you'll notice that these objects don't know how to adapt to the center of the screen here. Now we can fix that by adding something called constraints. First, let's go ahead and group it by selecting these two objects. And click on this stack button here, this first button here. So if I click on that, it gets dropped, and you notice on the outline here, it gets put into a group here. So there it is there. Now I'm going to just go ahead and click on stack view, and I'm just going to add some spacing between these two objects here. And I can click here to add spacing here. Just going to add a buffer space of, let's go for 10. 10's good. So once we have that now, we can now add constraints to center this. So to do that, I'm going to click on the second button here at the bottom and go ahead and check horizontally in container and vertically in container. And then for update frames, switch to items of new constraints. That's just going to show you it's going to physically move this object to the center for us. Click add two constraints, and there you go. Boom, it pops into the center of the screen there. So let's go ahead and click on this yellow warning arrow, and let's click on this yellow icon and just choose fixed placement there. That's going to get rid of that warning. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check it. Let's go into this view as, go ahead and rotate our simulator, and you notice it stays perfectly in the center now because we added it to a stack and we added the constraints. Okay, let's jump back to the simulator. Okay, so we can see here that we also have a title bar here, navigation bar, and then a button over here. So let's go ahead and build that. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to click on this yellow icon here, View Controller, go to Editor, Embed in Navigation Controller. That's going to automatically add a navigation controller here and the navigation bar up here. So now I can double click here and then type a title here. We're going to call it Counter. Now let's go ahead and add our Reset button. Let's scroll down. And because this is a button on the navigation bar, it's going to be this object right here called the bar button item. Let's go ahead and drag it to the top left. Double click here and give it a name called Reset. And there you go. Our user interface is complete. In the next video, we're going to write the code for the tap counter.